Charlie with his linguini charting. He loses sometimes, but hardly. He's BTC Charlie. But now he's GBP Charlie. It doesn't matter what he's charting. His trading is tough, but it's not all that bad with Charlie. He's got memes in the morning and more in the evening. It's Charlie. And when trading gets hard and support starts to lean, search Charlie. Charlie with his linguini charting. He loses sometimes, but hardly. He's BTC Charlie. But now he's GBP Charlie. It doesn't matter what he's charting. His trading is tough, but it's not all that bad with Charlie. He's got memes in the morning and more in the evening. It's Charlie. And when trading gets hard and support starts to lean, search Charlie.
Right, bonjour. How's everyone doing? Hey, bro, have you seen that bottle of water? Yeah, that's me, mate. That's me. Let's get some tunes on, shall we? This no copyright dance. Let's go. Or let me know how that is compared to the dulcet tones of my wonderful voice. Why don't you follow me on the channel? I've got 2 Twitch channels. I don't know, mate. I've only got 1. I've got a YouTube channel. Oh, I've got 2 actually. Yeah, I've got Dave Owns Noobs, which is my gaming channel. Music too high versus my voice. That loud. Cheers, boys. I've just got my new PC back. I mean, it's a year old, but how have I been? I've been good, mate. I went away last week. Caught some, I say sun. I caught some weather down in Cornwall. Which was really nice. Just had some time, you know, dicking around on the beach, building sandcastles, digging trenches, burying my daughter, catching crabs, all that kind of stuff, but not the same kind of crabs that you catch when you're like 18 and just discovered that, you know, what your front sausage does. Real crabs. You could potentially eat, but, I mean, they're, yeah. It's been nice, and obviously I've missed basically 7 market cycles in the week that I took out. We've had some real drama, which has all been good fun. How's everyone else been? Has everyone been winning? We've been enjoying this huge period. Yeah, front sausage, I kind of regret that. As if there's a back one, right? I suppose there is, kind of late one sometimes, but I'm just gonna move on from that conversation now. I haven't streamed in a while, so we're a little bit rusty. A little bit rusty. Yeah, have you guys been trading? Have you been enjoying these conditions? Have you been making the most of it, or have you just been actually living life? I started practicing today. Just entered a CRV long. I've been in and out of CRV all day. I started practicing for WSOT, whatever it stands for, Wall Street of Trading, or whatever it stands for. I actually don't know. The trading competition coming up. And I ran my small account up. You've been collecting memes? Perfect. I was led in bed this morning at 6 o'clock and I collected memes instead of waking up and logging CRV as it broke out of. I'll show you because it works out perfectly my time. Where are we? CRV. So yeah, I basically woke up at 6 o'clock this morning, which is somewhere down here. Ignore this box. This was just for one of these, pointless meme charts, engagement charts to say, look at what we're all trading. Isn't that suitably depressing? Look at that. Wow, man. Fucking hell. It's like now you know how the Tinder girls feel when they're zooming in. But yes, 6 o'clock this morning in my time anyway, which is obviously the centre of the world, Great Britain. Was sort of here, and I've had this on my radar since the wonderful hack, and I quite like logging out of any of these kind of breaks, and obviously that was pretty intense move. So I wouldn't have caught that. I don't just blind long like lows. I wait for the strength, and I'd have longed here. I may have caught this, but maybe a bit later. But yeah, that's what I look for, because it was quite nice beta. But instead, I collected memes in bed and just chilled till about, I think it was 8 o'clock maybe. I was really fucking lazy today for some bizarre reason. Yeah, it's about 8 o'clock. It's basically like the end of the move. It was here. But, sometimes you just gotta collect memes. World Series of Trading, that's the one. That is the Badger. Been shitposting bald memes. That is fair. Hey, Big Mag. Where am I expecting a Bitcoin to bottom or new local high? Ah, we'll get onto that, mate. I've got some emotes, but they've got backgrounds. I don't know how you've done that, Magus. Mine have backgrounds. I actually spent some time uploading them. I can report them as well. But fuck it. Let's ball. Are you safe in a CRV long? I mean, CRV's actually been really good to trade today. If we look at this one, because the other one's a bit too intense, so while I'm streaming, it's just been nothing but strength. I mean, personally, I kind of thought that the trade down here was done in terms of like I want to hold this for a reasonable period of time and actually try and, get more than a couple of % out of it, because you were just, you had a strong sell-off, you were kind of waiting for, is someone going to step in and save it? And then as soon as you get that confirmation that yes they are, it becomes a quick sweep of all the shorts that have just been free riding down, and that should be a strong impulsive move, and then reasonably it should mean revert with the rest of the market and actually go back to being like in this array of spaghetti, and not be particularly outside of it, but it's actually kept some of the beta. So it's been reasonably nice to trade today. But yeah, in terms of strength, that was the rotation there. IMO, the big one to try and catch, and to have that kind of more aggressive trend following play, which is all great and good saying it in hindsight, and I completely get that. But I did say that in my outlook on Sunday for the group that. I went through that. I'm just waiting for some strength and confirmation, and then that would be a decent trade, which it was. But okay, so are you safe here? I mean, I joked earlier about it going to 0.666, and that's partly because I was in a little scout position, but also because it's a kind of it's a meme level in terms of 0.666, the devil sign. And also because from a very high time frame perspective, it's kind of reasonable reasonable pivot. Not perfect, but would I be long in here? Straight into resistance. Yeah, in full risk-on bull market conditions, I would do that every single time. Is this fully bull market risk-on conditions? No, I don't particularly think so. But you know, CRV is showing relative strength, so I could be tempted to play that breakout play, especially with essentially all these failures here. See, I'm a bit rusty, boys and girls. You know, all of this, they're not perfect, you know, but failure. So we've literally capped price here fairly consistently at 0.613, and genuinely my target would be that. So I would be looking for something like this on a rotational basis, and like you don't really want it to come back even further than that, probably. You know, it has to be quite aggressive. Zoom in. Yeah, I'd probably play something like that if I was being super aggressive. But yeah, if it doesn't make it on this impulse, then it'll probably just be sat in a range for a little bit of time. Feels like there's a lot more OI to shed. Probably. I mean, as you know, I don't look at that. I look at momentum, and I look at price action and volume. Yeah, all the boys are here. Seen a lot of rich CT chats offering to buy CRV OTC. Yeah, it's an odd one because, like, genuinely, I mean, I don't really want to get too hung up on CRV because I'm not like super CRV bull or bear, but it's one of those things where, you know, I kind of look at it as, you know, it was a great cyclical play, you know, back from the whole DeFi saga before this, and it had, you know, a huge run up in 2021 and all that kind of wonderful stuff. But for me, you know, even off these lows, and that was one point that I was going to make and tweet about, and I thought, nah, it's a bit savage. You know, that to these highs, it's a 13x, which clearly I don't think we're in the conditions where this is going to go anywhere near that. But even that isn't like a massively incredible return for what people particularly or tend to associate with crypto bull markets. You know, they're thinking of the $500 to 1.5 million to nothing scenario like we have with Bald, which is just, you know, I wish I had a clip of Jim saying, you know, take profits, don't round trip, because that is phenomenal. You know, you'd at least de-risk some of the bag, you know, maybe not all of it. Yeah, okay, you know, it takes risk and pain sometimes to make, you know, reasonable sums, but yeah, absolutely bizarre. Good evening, Ten Mieru. I butchered your name, but good evening anyway. DeFi Winter was different, yes. I just not a huge fan of, like, I don't want to necessarily buy and own DeFi tokens. Like, it's my, like, where I am on the risk spectrum. I'll just delete all this shit, right? Because we kind of know what's going on in CRV now. Where I am on the risk spectrum is you've got, you know, super low risk like BTC, and I mean low risk just in terms of, you know, getting rugged and all of that kind of wonderful stuff, like actual, you know, third-party risk essentially. So you've got BTC on this side of the scale, and then you've got utter dog shit that was launched yesterday on some random chain by an anonymous dev, no team, no white paper, no Twitter account, no nothing. You know, basically, if you rugged it, you could walk away scot-free, no problem, right? So pure safety, and then over here somewhere you've got stocks and bonds and all that kind of wonderful stuff. Now I've got money in there. In BTC, I'm kind of interested in that for a long-term cyclical play eventually, not now. This kind of style of trading, I just don't do as much anymore. I occasionally gamble the odd sum on-chain redactedness, like Pepo, which went 50x or something stupid way back in the meme coin season, which was a Pepe kind of play and a proxy play on Pepe. But you can't tweet about that kind of stuff because it just gets you in Twitter jail. Yeah, so it's very few and far between. Like, where I want to operate is kind of this little section here, which is kind of the probably not naught, but less than 10 million market cap, maybe up to kind of 50 million, on the proviso that during the next run you think they can at least go to kind of 1 billion or 100 million or something like that, so that you're you put 10k in one of these, and it's a 1 to 10 million market cap, runs a nice 10x, because it's a decent team, decent product, good hype, easy sell, good tokenomics, blah blah blah. I'd much rather spaff 10 grand on that than kind of do the same in here, if that makes sense, and try and go, right, I'm going to ride a reasonable project that I can just forget about that money with, and I feel safe knowing that I've kind of invested in that. Or some here, which are kind of like the 800k-ish market cap projects, where actually if it's a decent project, if it's got a decent narrative, if it's got a decent team behind it and all that kind of wonderful stuff, and it is quite high risk, obviously I'll probably tail my size down a little bit, but your return potential from those can be astronomical. And I was watching XO earlier with NJ, and me and XO talk a fair bit, and I think we're both at the kind of same stage of the cycle mentally, which is, if you consider that we had the huge bull run, we've had a huge bear move, and then since the start of the year we've kind of done this. Now, I personally think that this is like an echo bubble. It's not the start of a huge bull trend or anything like that. I don't think we're going to go to all-time highs yet. I think that this is pretty much an echo bubble, and for the last few months, since the start of the year, we've been in a gradual uptrending market. We've had some really strong moves at the start. We've had some really good periods of trading in between it, but it's nothing like 2021 or anything like that. It's not what you would call. I don't really like the term bull or bear market, because I actually think that people use them a little bit too sparingly, and I don't think that they necessarily capture the extremes of the behaviour that you see. But principle is probably that you've got bear market, bull market, but no one really talks about the ranging market, and obviously these change based on your time frames, right? So if you're on an intraday basis and something really bad's just happened, you're going to say it's a bear market, but then you zoom out, and since the start of the year most things have done this. So yeah, it's all about time frame and perspective. And one of the quotes I really like is Hasaka's, there is no bull market, there is no bear market, there is just the market, poof, which I really like. But anyway, going back to this doodle here, the kind of cycle stage, I think we're in this sort of echo bubble, if you like. I think we'll probably get another chance lower, and call me a big bear or whatever. I think everyone will quit, and it will be pretty piss poor sentiment wise. And this for me is the time where I want to be researching what projects should I be looking to invest in, how far down am I willing to go. And I'll delete all this, and we'll take CRV as an example. Like, let's say I'm hyper bullish on CRV, right? Let's say I think, do you know what, I actually really want to bag a CRV for a long-term play. I don't even know where my things are. Have they changed this round, or am I just being redacted, chat? You are allowed to lie to spare my feelings, by the way. If I said, right, okay, ignoring the dramas of CRV, because clearly there's been a little bit going on lately, but if I said, okay, well, what I want is an absolute, just something like that, reclaim, and lovely. I mean, probably not going under zero and going to negative values, but you know what I mean, right? I am on regular, nice. A real kind of move down, and actually be a bit careful, because that's like fuck all. I'd quite happily buy range low deviation reclaim if I was super bullish on CRV, which I'm not. I think anything that's had a cycle is much less likely to have a new cycle of discovery. And the reason I think that is just pure psychology, right? A GCR said it, you've got to put yourself in the mind of the people, of the gamblers, right? Like, if nobody has made it longing CRV to $1 billion yet, or whatever new shitcoin comes out, then maybe it's going to be you. Maybe this is your lottery ticket, right? This is a new shiny coin, it's going to mint some millionaires. That's the kind of thought process that I personally think fuels that kind of constant price discovery. And there's also the kind of reinforcing metric of, if it makes, new highs, then everyone talks about it, then everyone wants to get on board because they FOMO, then it makes new highs, and you kind of get that self-fulfilling prophecy of just human psychology and greed. You know, look at Bald. Bald's a great example where, you know, guy puts $500 in or whatever. I'm not, you know, going to go over the semantics of it all, whether he was the dev, SBF was the dev, blah blah blah. But it goes up. People are like, wow, he's turned $500 into 300,000. Fuck me, I need to get my ass over here. Right now it's nearly $1 million. Holy shit, he's nearly done $1 million. Right, oh my god, it's 1.5 million there. Just all the attention is just here, and there's nothing to compare it against in terms of previous price action. Like, it's just a pure hype cycle. And you got to remember that most of crypto is that speculation and hype, right? So yeah, I've gone off a little bit on low caps and a little bit of research, but that's certainly what I'm focusing on over the next week or two. I've got a load of projects that I want to cover off. And oh, we're actually getting quite a nice move, obviously, because I'm streaming, that's what happens. I load up the stream and off we go. There we go. Let me just check chat one moment. Because I'm long, obviously. Are you long CRV, Magus? Really? Something in me says people in trad will rotate the fuck into crypto soon. What do I think? I don't necessarily know. I don't have a view on that, to be honest. I don't try and get involved in TradFi much. I use the dollar a little bit as risk on, risk off. I tried to structure a lot of plays and thinking around the dollar, but you know, I posted this chart on Twitter the other day, and some people got it like instantly, right? And I think if you were being objective about this and you were saying, oh, this is my shitcoin chart, I mean, look at the exact chart I just gave on CRV. You've got this strong move up, strong move down, and then you've kind of got the bouncing ball effect, right, of, you know, lower highs. But you've got that sell-off, that final kind of capitulation, and then you've got that reclaim, which isn't perfect in terms of levels. And I know that more than simple me drawing lines on a chart affects the dollar and all of that kind of wonderful stuff, but you know, I think it's a pretty reasonable place to start thinking, well, how risk on or off are the markets? And you know, for me, this is where I get into that whole juncture of bull versus bear market. So bear market, bull market, it's like, yeah, that's great, but it's kind of a downtrend, an uptrend, and then there's a separate condition, which is high or low risk in terms of risk on, risk off. You know, like, we've had an uptrend, right? We've had uptrends since the start of the year. Like, we've been in a broad uptrend in terms of, you know, some altcoins. That's what most people would say. Now, if you look at BTC, that's kind of the case, right? Start of the year, up we go, lovely. But if you start looking at, where is it? Yeah, total market cap, it's not particularly wonderful. And actually, you know, is it that impressive? Not really. It is still an uptrend, but it's certainly not wonderful. We romanticize it probably more than it is, because we've had some wonderful trades. 69 giggly. We've had some wonderful trades like XRP, BSV, LDO, Aptos, all that kind of wonderful stuff. You know, not denying that it's an uptrend, but in terms of huge risk on, well, this is, you know, lower high, but whatever. In terms of risk profile, you know, could you have made money just longing any shitcoin out there? No, you couldn't. You know, there are some coins that look like this, look like absolute ass. There are coins that, you know, have just been down only. Note that this was, you know, a big winner in 2021, and you know, there's loads of them like that, right? You know, we played some LRC loop ring rotations before, and they were absolutely wonderful to trade. You know, and I get that it's relative to price, but you know, you get moves like that, and really, like, the time it took to do that versus the time it took to do that, you know, the risk on kind of context of the market, it's nowhere near as risk on as it was in kind of 2020, 2021. Nowhere near, in my opinion, and for me and my trading. And I think that's probably the one thing that people don't take into account in kind of bull or bear market. and I am ranting about this, I completely get that. But it's like, well, I'd rather call this price action an uptrend. And actually, you know, is it a super bull market? No, because most people associate bull markets with 2017 and 2021, where you can just sling money at any old shit and wake up the next day and it'll be up like 20%, and then you'll log on the group chat and you'll go, oh, everyone else's shitcoin's up 30%. Oh, Christ. What a terrible time to be alive. Max long every ticker? Yeah, probably. Hey man, the boys are spamming MAGA splepes in my chat. This is not kosher. Can I lower the music? Yeah, of course I can. Just for you. Actually, if I lower it much more, it will literally go to 0. How about that? BlepAL. Yeah, you can't do BlepAL, mate. Gets you banned, apparently. Well, not banned, they just revoked the BlepAL emoji, which is ultimate cringe. Ultimate cringe. Anyway, we've done some lectures. Let's talk about some shitcoins. I posted this the other day as well, just in terms of higher time frame BTC. You know, the fact that we are... You can kind of draw this two ways, and you can argue it whichever way you want. You know, this is a pretty brutal area to be kind of trapped in terms of this very high time frame pivot that we have rejected from, versus this area here that we are just bouncing from. You know, previous support over here, and then if you squint a little bit and maybe on some exchanges, this over here. So, you know, is it perfectly drawn? Probably not. But you know, the idea that this here or this here are quite kind of pivotal points. You know, we might just end up ranging, we could do whatever, obviously we could do this, fuck knows, price will do what it wants. But for me, and in terms of a positional perspective into the next couple of weeks, or thought process around, you know, general risk on, risk off, it's really just focused trades on whatever narratives are kind of in play at the time. And I think CRV is a really good example of that, which we've kind of covered off. And well, it looks like it's rejecting, but what's my point? Hey, I am currently short BTC. Let's go zoom out again. See, I wasn't super prepared. I'm currently short from. It's not a great entry, so you know, I can show you the P&L card or whatever it is on something like 30, 40-ish. So it's basically from up here. Obviously this reaction is pretty reasonable. What a janky div that is. I mean, I'm not sure about that, mate. Yeah, maybe. If you squint. So I mean, for me personally, we had this range up here, right? And we have this, I'll just delete this. We've got these two levels, I'll redo those. So we got this, we got that high time frame pivot up here, high time frame pivot up here. We basically had a range up here, which we, I think we talked about it on the stream before I went away. And, you know, it's pure deviation, back down to essentially range low and then breakdown. I happened to catch a short here because I was boredom trading while my wife put my daughter to bed on like the first day of our holiday, yeah, Sunday evening, whenever it was. So you know, it's not the greatest, most well thought out trade of my life, but I had to put myself in a position where, do you know what, I was like, if I can short with an invalidation here, and I can relax knowing that if the market shits the bed while I'm away and I've got some spot old positions, a couple of low caps and a couple of other bits and pieces, that actually, you know, I've kind of hedged some of that in a reasonable Bitcoin short, and I'm quite lucky that it played out. But you know, this breakdown, the lack of a further breakdown in here, so there were two points which I was really surprised at. The first was this move here. I kind of expected that to be a pretty strong parabolic move, and And the reason that I thought that is that we would essentially punish all the late shorters like myself, and reclaim this range low here and do something like that. And then that reaction there would have been my trigger to either close this if I was still in it, I managed to survive and get long, or if it starts breaking down again, add to it and go, right, well this is even better now because we've got that pure range rejection. But it didn't do that. What it actually did was essentially form another range, which was a little bit odd, because what I would have preferred it to have done, obviously, being on the short side, is actually shown some weakness and broken down. And now, on a lower time frame, this is a fucking horribly drawn range, so my chart aim is way off. Way off. But yeah, that now is that kind of deviation and back into this range. So, watch the reaction of the range lows will be my kind of next play. And it's just going. And obviously that's what happens as soon as I loaded the stream. It kind of changes my pre-thought out and preordained plans. Yeah, I either max out the music volume or just there's none. I mean, it's not really 50 in terms of daily RSI reset, but I get the point in principle. And, the whole, that's 51, that does my autism in. I don't think I am actually autistic, but we will fix it just for the autistic people in the chat. Yeah, I mean, that's quite a nice, sort of swing failure candlestick. You set these lows here. So it's kind of what you would want to see. Sentiment is pretty shocking. Volatility has been pretty bad. And, the concept of everyone running to on-chain, even though it was kind of only 50 million or something, it's, in the scheme of things, isn't a lot. Yeah, it's not bad. So I need to be thinking about when I'm gonna be watching this basically, and I might just close out before I go to bed because this is pretty strong. And obviously we've had NAS previously just in up-only mode, and now consolidating, essentially right next to all-time highs, and SPX, doing similar. The only thing with SPX is there are some divergences on SPX, or there were at least the last time I looked, which are pretty damn clean, to be honest. There is a sort of squinty div on Awesome Oscillator. I couldn't take that trade particularly, but you can still see the point in principle of that and this lower high essentially. But that structure isn't particularly wonderful. Ideally you'd see 3 consecutive lower highs just like that, and then you get a really nice clean divergence and clean signal. But we do not. But we can still say that off this you have kind of confluent factors of Awesome Oscillator and very, very clean daily div if it closes like this. But it's obviously quite difficult to short exceptionally strong assets. Would you rather eat 1,000 wasps or have £10 million? I mean, do you cook the wasps, or do you mean live wasps? And what type of wasps? Alive. So they're alive. Can I kill them first, or do I have to put them in my mouth alive? I could blend them. Is there a time limit to the 1,000 wasps? I mean, obviously we're here to talk about crypto markets, but let's indulge the question. I think if I could blend them and just have like a wasp smoothie for 10 million quid, I'd probably do that. But I'd probably Google level of toxins in wasps beforehand and try and work out how much, if any. That's a hell of a thick pint of wasp. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, the way the world's going, we're all going to be eating bugs anyway, right? But we're going to have superconductors that'll actually transmit. Transmit, is that the right word? Or transfer electricity. Nice and wonderfully. With minimal loss. Superconducting wasps. Yeah, I'm not in the superconducting wasps. For 10 million quid, if it didn't kill me or like paralyze me or do anything stupid like that, I'd probably do it. Just came back. Is Charlie plotting how to kill me with wasp venom? Yeah, pretty much. No, mate. No. I got asked, would you rather eat 1,000 wasps or have 10 million pounds? So essentially, eat 1,000 wasps for 10 million quid. Imagine declaring that as income to HMRC. Hey guys, I got 10 million quid. What for? Well, I ate a load of wasps. Sounds a bit like money laundering, mate. Easy choice. You gotta do it in an hour though. But yeah, I'll probably nail the wasps, to be honest. I don't know, does that make me look poor? 10 million quid's a lot of money, do you know what I mean? What does that work out as, like... I could do the maths. Come on. Like, 10,000 per wasp. It's pretty good. Get drunk first, Massimo, with a blender. Yeah, exactly. More wasps. You could retire on that. Whoa, let's not have that conversation. I think you could retire. I think you could retire on 10 million net. I don't think you could retire on $10 million. Because $10 million in GBP is about 4 million quid. Which, depending on your age, if you're 20, not enough. If you're 65, 4 million quid is a lovely retirement. So, yeah. Right, BTC then. So, am I a bull or a bear? I mean, I'm currently sat in a short. I'm not bullish. I don't want to take any more active positions in BTC, really. What I would like to see, and this is actually a really strong move. Let me flip over to Spaghetti. Yeah, this is alright, actually. To put it in perspective, what I want to see is I want to see more altcoins higher than BTC on these rotations. So I want to see more of a risk-on context, which is exactly what I was talking about in terms of bull-bear market, than we've got at the moment. This distribution sucks. Front sausage. I don't like it, because there's only a few, and most of them are DeFi. Sushi, CRV, CFX, and it's kind of like the market is just rotating between whatever dead shit is basically at range lows and trying to give them a little pump and then absolutely failing. And I don't like this kind of not low volatility, because it's actually reasonable volatility. A 20% or I don't know what it is, low to high. What have we got on CRV today? Let's have a peep. Yeah, 30-ish% on CRV in a day is a pretty wonderful trade. Not that you're going to catch it, low to high, but even like a 20% like semi-reasonable range play, like that's a fucking good move, right? So there is volatility, but in terms of rotational strength or quote unquote easy narrative to play, like I don't like rotation into DeFi generally. I don't like trading Tomo particularly. I don't like trading DeFi. I don't like trading, Link. I would put in that kind of DeFi category. I'll just stake into a CIV pool. Yeah, why not? Wasp Venom or VWAP Venom? Good morning, Lafante. Magus, aren't you taking off today? Waiting for your next stream. Good evening, BA. How are you, sir? Yeah, Magus is taking today off, which is why I thought I'd mix things up a bit and stream on a Tuesday and just go absolutely wild. But this is what we do out here. Hey Donny, how's it going? Yeah, I've been practicing my low time frame abilities for the WSOT. Today was very good. Even though I did some fucking shocking trades. I got literally carried by the market. And sometimes it happens like that, right? Sometimes you can do things everything well. I actually didn't lose a trade today. I don't think. Let me take a peep. I'm pretty sure. No. one with a very small W, but it's still a dub. Yeah, we'll take that. But it wasn't just because they were winning trades doesn't mean they were good trades. So yeah, bear that in mind. And I do tell you when I lose because I lose all the fucking time. But today was not one of those days. I literally longed. I longed up here somewhere. And then I longed up here, that was it. And then ate that drawdown, and then managed to get out up here. Fun at times. Spaghetti is making you crave for spaghetti. I remember what I said about you on that space, that you told me to stop reading the CF comments. Oh, what the Confessions comments, and just turn it all off. Yeah, because social media is so toxic, man. Like, it's just so negative all the time. Like, are people like, oh yeah, it's great being an influencer and all that kind of wonderful stuff. It's like, you know, sometimes it is. Don't get me wrong. I had some legend write me a theme song for this. I've got someone who says good morning to me every single morning and is on day 86, I think, of messaging me. I've got, you know, loads of great connections with people. You tweet stuff out like, I'm fat, help me. And you get like 100,000 people saying, here's what you can do, buddy. But equally, don't dox maggots like that. But no, equally, you get people who are like, you know, you post one chart or you lose one trade and it's like, whoa man, you're so fucking stupid. Like, yes, I'm betting my entire net worth on a single trade. But anyway. And there's always people who are just salty and angry and just want to spread that and take it out on you, basically. But, que sera. It is what it is. I can't complain, I like Twitter. I like Twitter more than I don't like it, and I'm certainly addicted to the drama. I mean, look at all the bald stuff. I mean, what the hell's happened in the last week, lads? Like, seriously. We've had the bald rug, it was SBF, was it whoever? Like, jeez, I don't know. There's too much to what's Twitter? I mean X, yeah. X gonna give it to you. Gonna give it to ya. What else we got? We got WorldCoin scanning your irises and making an impression of your eyeballs. I thought this would actually be much better for scalping and volatility than it kind of has been. It's been pretty shocking. But you know, maybe we get some form of meme pennant or resolution. It's been on my radar, but I haven't actually traded it. Look at that. Fucking TA is that. But you kind of get the principle, right? That you actually just got this kind of compressed volatility, and I would assume that it would break the upside. It actually doesn't look horrific. So do you guys want to hear my wild theory? Hello, PK Critical. Oh, bull stuff happened, but you go to Twitch if you talk about a small cap coin. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's great. I don't make the rules, mate. I don't make the rules. And also, everyone wants to retire, and everyone, I think my pinned tweet is, well, my pinned X is still SHIB. So I get the occasional message of, hey man, what's the next SHIB? Like, I don't fucking know. And also, were you really going to hold it for like 1 billion X? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's very different when your P&L swings from, you know, you put, I don't know, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, whatever you're comfortable with, right? It's very different watching, let's call it $10,000, right? Very different watching that swing plus or minus 10%. You're like, oh, $1,000, you know, okay, well, you might earn, I don't know, 100 grand a year or 50 grand a year, I don't know, no idea. But to you, it's probably not a huge amount. But when you get to the sort of 100k, maybe 500k regions, and a 10% swing looks like £50,000, dollars, whatever, you know, you're going to feel the psychological pressure a little bit more than your initial investment. I think that's the thing that people really, really underplay. How hard it actually is. Because even with stuff like Pepe, right? And I mean, I know that this isn't the actual full Pepe chart. You know, you're holding this up, and if you check your portfolio while it's up there, and you're like, ah, that's fucking great. I'm a genius. Wonderful. You've then got to eat dick on a 42% drawdown. Let's say you're going for a shit, and you check your phone, and you're 42% down. You know, if this was $100,000 to you, you're now down at nearly 50,000. What? Are you a fucking idiot? Are you dumb? And then obviously from there, it goes like that and does another kind of 2x. So actually, you go from whatever to 100k to nearly 50k to, you know, 300k. Yeah, kind of ish. Like, okay, I've drawn that a little bit high, but you get the point. You'd have had to have eaten the $43,000 drawdown in that scenario. So I don't know. People think it's really easy, and obviously if you're sat at home living in mum's basement, it's fine. But if you are like me with a wife and a daughter and all that kind of wonderful stuff, then you probably feel some additional levels of responsibility. That's my accountant chat. Yeah, I just done some quick maths. I can actually do 300% as the 3x. Lovely. What a fucking genius. Look, I'm a bit rusty, boys. I'm a bit rusty. I've been sea breeze away, you know, rushing through my locks, which I don't have. I'm not bald though, FYI. You know, enjoying the sea air. Right, we've literally talked about Bitcoin and CRV. Perfect. What a stream. What else do we want to talk about? We had Pepe. That was kind of the short idea that we didn't get because I was far too aggressive, but kind of played out a little bit. I was looking also for, as you can probably see, like some form of momentum divs down here. Momentum. Didn't really play out, didn't really work, but alas, we kind of move on. My biggest, dumbest take is this, and I'm fully aware how redacted it is, and I'm fully aware that it's just, I'm literally betting money on a tingling sensation in my balls. But I've just got this real feeling that Mask is going to play a big part of Twitter. And, you know, I essentially have a spot bag that it looks something like this, and I think that we're going to get a pretty ridiculous move on it. So, you know, don't be dumb. Don't bet your life savings on it, because it's literally like a stupid dumb hunch. That 10 IQ play is so going to work on Mask. Yeah, and that's the thing. Enjoying the stream, thanks. Cheers, AK. Thank you all for the love. I've really appreciated it, by the way. Like, I literally asked in Telegram and said, oh, you know, would appreciate like some retweets and stuff like that, and everyone's just gone absolutely fucking ham. Love it. Love to see it. I'm seeing some of the same names kind of again and again, just like and retweet all my stuff. It's nice because, you know, you do sit there and you shitpost and spread content and do all that kind of wonderful stuff, and you do kind of wonder if it's of use to anybody. And I am exceptionally liberal with the likes, so yeah, I think I've got like 100 and what have I got? 164,000 likes and 33,000 tweets. So you know, I genuinely read it, like, or try and read everything that everyone says. But yeah, what's the relationship with Mask and Twitter X? Twitter's gonna buy it. That's it. Simple as that. Feeling my balls. Because what it is they essentially integrate a load of like pricing analytics into Twitter and various other social media platforms. So I think they'll just give it out. FYI, NJ and EXO spoke very well of me earlier. Real low cup stuff, not just your shit posting. Yeah, I was listening to that stream actually, and yeah, they were very kind, very kind. NJ said he used to love my threads and stuff, which I haven't really done probably for 2 or 3 years. That's largely because I put a lot of my educational content in the Paragon group, and you know, that's a decision that I took because you put so much time and effort into it, and you tend to get grief unless you work with people who actually want to learn, which is the way it is. But there's loads of threads still on my Twitter somewhere. And yeah, I think I was contemplating actually after this stream, because I think I've said this on another stream of mine before actually, which is I'm not super excited about like any projects in particular that I'm like, holy shit, I found a gem. Like I thought Room was a gem, and I'd chill it to people because I had the utmost conviction in it and being like, look mate, if you can afford $1,000, just stick it in there. Do you know what I mean? Like, I am in a place with the market where I think there's more downside. I think that crypto is, not in the limelight at all at the moment, and I think, not for good reasons anyway, and I think it's going to be a little while before we get any form of, other high risk bull market cycle. Does that mean there's not opportunities here? Absolutely fucking not. There's always a bull market somewhere in crypto, right? And that's kind of one of the main things that keeps me here, not just the volatility, but the fact that there is always something going on. You could have been the guy who bought Bald and then actually cashed it out. I'm not saying that you probably would be, because you obviously need the setup to actually ape and snipe use bots to snipe low caps and do all that quite early. But yeah, there's always opportunity in crypto, and even like the XRP case. I mean, how many people's trading months were made on that day? I know that was my best trading day of July. Do you know what I mean? I remember scalping, like literally, I was on a live stream with in the group up here, and I remember just on the other monitor just smacking in a load of bids and just going, right, well, I'll see what happens. I can't remember what the entry was, but I literally took a few percent out of the market in a couple of minutes, and it was just absolutely wild, But I don't have that kind of like one little. I always think, what would I tell my nan to kind of invest in? I've got a couple of projects that I really like. I use my Plutus card a lot. It got absolutely battered and abused last week while I was on holiday, and I got a reasonable percent of cash back, which is a subtle shill, and I am partnered with them, just full disclosure and all that. But I like that product. You get a minimum of 3% cash back for doing fuck all. So it is literally free money. So yeah. But is that going to be, are you going to put $1,000 in there and walk away a millionaire? No, you're not. No, you're not. But and I'm not saying I want a project that is 1,000x return potential. I'm actually quite happy with sort of a 5x over a long period of time, or maybe even a 10x. But that's the kind of area that I want to invest in. The sub 10 mil market cap, decent project, decent team, potential history, and some form of narrative Do you feel like Bald was staged on CT? It was very sudden. I mean, it's difficult to know. Maybe. I'm sure it'll come out. Because as with all these wonderful things, what people do is they do a ton of due diligence after the event and then go through it all like a fine-tooth comb, and they're like, oh, the deploy had these connections with these people and these wallets and yada, yada, yada. And it all comes out like a week or month or however long later, right? I mean, it was the talk of the town, but why wouldn't it be? Someone has literally turned, pocket change, $500, okay, maybe it's not pocket change, but like a reasonably small amount of money into a life-changing potential amount, right? 500 to 1.5 million. I'm not saying you can retire on 1.5 million, but if you're working a job, 30 grand a year, that's quite a considerable contribution. That's like literally the rest of your life salary just given to you. So you can kind of have the freedom to do what you want. So I think it's massive, and I think, why wouldn't people be talking about it? And that's the exact kind of thing that was all too common in the actual full risk-on bull market in 2021, right? I remember claiming an NFT that I sold basically 10 minutes later for $40,000, just bang bang, 2 clicks of a button, because I was one of the fastest people. Duff duff. That's 40 grand. Well done. Well done, Charlie. Everyone wants to make it in one day instead of slowly over time. Yeah, and that's kind of the psychological thing of, you see it doing this, and actually, wow, look at that. I should have been part of that. I was pulled back right now. I'll go in. Wait, let's go. And when you get, coins that are like that, like, look at this. Like, someone fucking bought XRP at 0.93. I'm going to make it. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. It was fucking brilliant to trade, and I kind of don't blame them, to be honest. But let's take some of this shit off. But yeah, people do want to just make it in one day, and people want to hear stories of people winning the lottery, because then they're next. They're the next people that are going to win. It's going to be me next. I can do that. Wow, I saw Bald at 100k market cap. I could have done that. Next time, what? It'll be me. So we sold the XP we actually did. I'm pretty sure. Get YouTube Music Premium. Look how poor I am, boys. I'm pretty sure I was on the stream at that point. I'm pretty sure I exited into this strength up here. On stream. And then it just shut the bed. It's fucking wild. Absolutely wild day. But you get probably like 3, 4, 5 of those days a year, I'd say, where in crypto it's, if you are there and you happen to be there at the right moment, it's not free money, because there's no such thing really, but it's pretty fucking easy to play. And I genuinely think it was pretty easy to play the whole base blockchain if you if you were about, which I obviously wasn't. And this is one thing that I thought about, that you said from like H1, you were talking about it, NJ and XO's stream, and they gave me a lot of credit for being very early in NFTs. So, I bought a People for $1 and sold it for over 100,000. So, that's, a well over 100,000x return. Yes, it was $1, but still, you get one of those, and suddenly that's incredible. I remember tweeting about it actually and being like, I've just made 100,000x on an NFT. And everyone's like, what? No, you haven't? I'm like, yeah, no, I literally have. So, and the reason for that is simply being early, and that's it. And there's a great quote from Margin Call, which is a film that I kind of love watching if you're a trader. Yeah, cheers VA, mate. Nice to see you. See you nice. Margin Call, which is, there are 3 ways to make it. You're the smartest, you're the first, or you cheat. And, I'm not a cheater. And I think if you're the first, that is literally it. If, this is a big Ponzi. All of this is a Ponzi. And if you're one of the first in that Ponzi, you stand to benefit the most. Legendary meme, yeah, it is. It's such a good film, though. Such a good film. And I think that that whole principle of being first and being early, you take on that risk, but you're, as Sam Trabucco famously put it, your maximum downside is minus 100%, and your maximum upside is usually 2000%. So yeah, I do love low caps, and I do love investing in that kind of respect. And I think we're getting close to the point where I actually want to start building some bags for the longer term, or playing just some low caps. There's a couple of low caps launching this month that I'm going to play, and I'm going to put some theory and detail behind it, with no special influencer deals or anything like that. Unless I can get them, obviously, in which case, why the fuck not? But I will disclose it. Gonna follow DVA, gym time. Cheers, Magus. Nice to see you. See you nice. But yeah, I'm gonna share all that and actually do some proper research. Because, yeah, I used to do that all the time. And someone asked me sort of how to do it. I mean, I've got a couple of videos on it, and, without going into too much detail, it's just as you'd research anything, like as you research a holiday, right? If you want to go on holiday, what do? You read the reviews, you check the hotel out. If you were going to work for a company, you'd look at the company and try and find out about the kind of vibe, the culture, whatever. Obviously in crypto it's a bit different. You've got to try and find out about the team, about the market that they're launching into, or their competitors. How big do you think it can go in terms of, like, are you comparing your coin to a team, a team of 500 people that are backed by, $100 million treasury, and they've raised 3 ETH. Like, you're probably not comparing apples with apples. We've heard there's an alt account on Charlie's posting Dank Alpha. Quite possibly. Quite possibly. No memes, just sauce. But yeah. Oh, look. Getting a bit of a... There we go. Just in time for me to not long it. Lovely. Okay, Sorrel. What else do we want to look at, boys and girls? Soilana, the greatest trade of all time. We are at a pretty reasonable place. If anyone said I'm gonna just long Sol, I kind of wouldn't blame them. There wasn't much in terms of divergences down here, but it's kind of janky if you were, at a reasonable level on a 2-hour. I think it's actually, was it on the hourly as well? Yeah, but it was a bit shit on the hourly. I don't like that whole doing that down here. I prefer this sort of slow grind up and slow grind down, so it's kind of very, very clean. Yeah, Sol obviously had its bounce and everyone was giga bullish on it, and then died a death, rebounced, and that classic momentum loss. But if you were looking at something to try and get the next leg up, it's not a terrible place to take a long. I can't long it here, really, because I need to see some form of strength first, and if memory serves me well, Sol hasn't been particularly great on these rotations. Not too bad, not too bad in the upper quadrant, which is, if it's up here, it's kind of reasonable to trade. If it's down here, you might want some mean reversion, but unlikely. The only way that I like logging stuff down here is if it's particularly in play. And by that I mean, what you tend to find happen is things like CRV moves, and then Tomo moves, and while Tomo moving, CRV is dying, and then the next rotation is the opposite. So you kind of get those, kind of cyclical rotations between the two, and like inverse correlations. So if you can spot those, they can be very cheeky. And we've got Doge as well. I think we talked about this. Maybe it was a Paragon stream. Maybe it was a public one here. Don't know. But classic meme parabola. Absolute classic. IJ. Nope. BCH has been on my radar, but obviously BTC is look at look at all those doodles. Christ almighty. Look at that. I'll delete that and we'll just start again. The TLDR was, as you can probably guess, by these meme lines that I'm drawing. We had this strong move and I was looking for how it was going to close and if it was going to hold up here, in which case there was potentially a play to up here, but it did not. What gave me a kind of reason to look at BCH was two things. One, at the time where BTC was, and if it did that reclaim, then BCH would have been a decent proxy, and it actually had a really strong reaction off these lows compared to most other altcoins and a good rotation, but obviously that was not followed through. XRP has really done not a lot since the move, which you kind of expect, and again that was thought process. You know, meme parabolas don't work. Well, of course they do. And actually huge sell-off afterwards. Reclaim this and look for longs. It didn't. It just fucking deviated, and now we're just at these lows, and we're just going to oscillate in this range, I imagine, for a little while until BTC does something. But yeah, there's not really been much else on my radar. The other side of the Dogecoin actually was Floki and SHIB. So I was looking at proxies of if Doge has a run, which actually it did literally the day after because Elon tweeted something fucking stupid as usual. What would I be longing? And it would have been SHIB, and the market structure argument of, you know, your bullshit ascending triangle or whatever it's called. But actually it's not about the triangle, it's just about the fact that buyers are willing to step in at higher and higher prices and not let price drop, right? Really fucking simple. And that you know, upwards movement, consistent upwards buying pressure usually ends with something like this. You know, a strong pop, even if it fully retraces and then just dies off. So, yeah. That's Shiba Inu. What else have we got? I might orgasm by your voice, not gonna lie. Whew. Nord TPM 101 has subscribed. What a legend. You're following the wrong one, as this one is just memes. Yeah. Sorry about that. It gets to a point where, like, I can't be fucked sharing my trades. Like, well, there's two things. One is, like, my trading style at the moment is very much in and out and, like, low time frame rotations. So, like, CRV, if I plop things... Beep. If I vaguely talk about CRV, I'm going to butcher this a little bit in terms of times, but, like... I did 4 trades today, all of them were like W's. So I think I longed, so I got up here, missed the move. I think I took a long in here and sold it up here somewhere. Same down here and up here. I longed here, no, longed here and got out over here. Along there in this bit. I thought it was just going to be like a retest. And it didn't. I ate that drawdown, and then as it came up, I thought this will be the breakout, and then I ended up getting out on this pullback here before it absolutely shit the bed. I was longing in here, and I think I sold on this impulse here. Yeah, 5 o'clock. It's about tea time. So yeah, and that was kind of it. So you know, I'm taking quite a lot of like low time frame trades, and being quite like aggressive. I don't want to be like, oh, let's just put this on, because I don't really have a like hard stop. I'm not doing this. Sorry, someone's messaging me. Yeah, I'm not doing that. And like most people aren't going to be about like looking at a 1 minute chart like I am, right? Like genuinely, the stop probably would have been something like this, right? Apologies. There you go. So yeah, I'm not like trying to do many swing plays, but I'm trying to do a little bit more in terms of just general thought process. You see a lot of this on Twitter, and a lot of the great thing about it is you can claim clout, right? Smack a P&L card next to it and be like, lol, I'm the greatest trader of all time. But, I'd subscribe if you didn't say you made 40k off 2 clicks of an NFT. Yeah, but mate, I mean, I shill ref links. I'm, exceptionally broke. Because I have enough money. I'm the one person in the world that has enough money. Because I'm not inherently greedy. Like every other person on the planet. I actually think it's a weird concept when people are like, oh my god, you're so broke because you're shilling a ref link. It's like, no, I trade on Bybit. If people want to come and trade, then great. And they want to show some appreciation by, giving me a couple of shekels while they're just trading and doesn't cost them anything. Yeah, fine. I had someone, I'll tell you it, because I have my FTX ref link in my bio. And I don't think I ever shilled it. I don't think I ever pushed it or did anything like that. It was just sat there passively in my bio. And some, I think there were about 13 signups or something like that. So it wasn't many. I didn't, I didn't push it. I didn't have a partnership or anything like that with them. So what's the fucking point? And I did have a lot of FTT though, so I did get good rebates. But yeah, I know FTX. I know, cringe. But I also had a load of my crypto net worth on there. So I didn't go down the ship, but I ate where I was talking about. And someone on there was doing some decent volume. I think peak 2021, my peak daily rebate from him or her or they was $1,100. So, that was for passively having a link in my bio. And that's kind of what I mean by dumb bear market or bull market stuff. So, Moon Car was making 4 to 5 BTC a day. What? Yeah, passive income. I mean, it's obviously it's nothing now because it's FTX. But, I mean, on Bybit, it's, negligible. He paid the bills. He actually did pay the bills. Also, it was just mental. I went away for a week and I came back and I was like, what? I haven't got any trades open. Why's my balance gone up? And I was like, oh, fuck me. He's literally done $1,000 every day. I was like, oh, happy days. I'll have that. Well, I think I had 2 weeks holiday and came back 10 grand richer. Anyone else doing no poop August? No. Surprisingly. The wasps are just, letting it flow through me. Anyone playing Litecoin? Litecoin's one that never really interests me. And the reason is, I know it's Litecoin halving and all that kind of wonderful stuff. We had a nice pump back here. But it's just usually so shite in terms of beta, and then it just has one big move. And I've just got the worst luck with it. No Litecoiners in the chat? I've done enough to scare them all off. Anyone holding any adder in here so I can ban you? I haven't actually looked at the fucking adder chart in ages. Slowly going to 0. Perfect. That's what we like to see. Did the halving already happen for Litecoin? I thought it was 3 weeks, 3 days. A couple of days ago, it was 3 weeks, 3 hours, 3 days, 3 hours, 3 minutes or something away. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not really paying much attention to LTC. Oh man, look at this fucking bull market. Woo! think this is the other thing as well, is like when you're in proper bullish conditions, you can play, and I mean high risk on conditions, you can play the laggards. So it pays to play things that are like, once everything starts breaking out of its ranges, you know, if you find something that hasn't broken out yet, but it looks like it's going to, you just long the fuck out of it. Stop down here. And if you catch that breakout, it'll be lovely. You know. We talked about the top of RRB as well on the previous stream, didn't we? Parabolic curves don't work, Charlie. Yes, they fucking do. How to go into zero while Charles flies around his private jet? Yeah, I mean, he did alright, didn't he? So I can't really mock him. Played Litecoin narrative back in the end of 2022, Bitcoin first nuked. 18k. Bought on Bitcoin pair and sold on Bitcoin pair. Held that BTC. Yeah, these new buyers are pretty weak. Yeah, a bit of RRB. I'm not, no affiliation or anything like that for you. All come at me with your pitchforks, but you know, high cash yielding, you know, high revenue, high growth platform. Like, why wouldn't you own some? No, pretty obvious play, to be honest. I'm sure we've talked about that before. What else do you want to talk about, boys and girls? Heading off. H1CT, yes, I think I might have to head off as well. When reverse parabolic chart on CRV. You know what, ironically, low time frame, reverse or inverse parabolas are genuinely one of my favourite things to trade. And the reason that I say that is what you tend to get is a very simple sort of just constant sell-off. You know, price just does this, it just can't do anything, and then it literally just kind of fucking descends. And then you get volume doing the opposite of, like, literally miss the pain. You're kind of doing this, and then you just get it start ramping up, and then you just get a monster candle with a liquidation cascade and all that kind of wonderful stuff. And then as soon as you start getting a bid again, you know, they can be some of the best reverting plays of the market. You know, and in strong conditions, in good risk-on conditions, you know, not only do you wipe out a ton of OI and leverage down here on this move, but when it starts going back up, it really fucking rips everyone the other way as well. So those V reversals in 2021 were just fucking amazing to trade. I would love to trade that again. Even if I didn't make any money out of it, I'd still like to have another fucking go, do you know what I mean? As in, like, if I could just play it on sim mode or something. Yeah, I don't know. I personally, I think the only reason that people want to buy CRV here is because of everything that's going on. I don't think in any other world, you know, if that hack didn't happen, we'd all be thinking, oh fucking hell, man, I can't wait to buy some CRV. Okay, okay. Next huge market leg up incoming. CRV? Don't think so. Don't think so. A fundamentally reasonably good project and all that kind of wonderful stuff, but yeah, I wouldn't have been rushing to even look at a CRV chart if all this shit didn't go down. Would any of you? Have I looked at CAS? I keep getting shilled on CAS actually. By not stupid people.
I started my YouTube channel because I've always loved food and making people laugh.
What have we got going on? Oof, it's all kicking off. All kicking off. Alright, I think I might leave it there, boys and girls. What's going on? Maker is kind of still a DeFi rotation. Sushi. Yeah. Bit of Vol on Pepe. Yeah. CRV is still the best thing to kind of trade. Ah, perfect. Obviously this kicks off. Que sera. How many Vitalik dong picks will we need to get the same shape of his dong on VDIC USDT? I do not know the answer to that question. I've been in since 004. Good project. Still an even with Ava? And the rest, never looking back. Maybe. Do you mean Ave, sir? I mean, it's fine. Like, obviously everyone's investment thesis are different. That's why we have a market, so that we can speculate against each other and see what happens. You know, I think the whole GambleFi is probably still the current in-play meta. Obviously, we've just had like rotation around Telegram bots and all that kind of wonderful stuff, and the Buld ecosystem, or the base ecosystem rather, with Buld. I think the next big thing will be some form of social token. And I think it will be around rewarding good social behaviors, or like memes, for example. Like memes. Like encouraging people to share memes, or ranking memes, or, you know, it'll be a kind of, yeah. I think I know what I would, you know, bet reasonably on. But I haven't seen anything that actually does that and works yet. But you can guarantee that when I do, I'm going to be going balls deep. And then I'm not going to be allowed to share it on Twitter. So, there we go. Sup, scumbray. What's up, actually, is it's nearly 8:30 and it's nearly my bedtime. My mum's going to come down and drag me out of the basement and tell me it's time to go to bed. So, I think on that bombshell, we're probably at the end of the stream. Unless there's... I'll do 7 more minutes. Same, I'm finished if she finds out I'm watching you. Yeah, that's fair. Has anyone got any burning questions? Any things they want to say? Any more crazy questions like, would I eat 1,000 wasps for $10 million? There are a lot of shitcoins that don't look particularly, you know, give me a reclaim up here. Doesn't look particularly unreasonable. See if we've got any interesting momentum divergences. Not really. Kind of. Yeah. Very messy. Magic. I still like Magic. Check Matic. I'm underwater. So what we're gonna do? Which side are you on, my friend? We'll save you. Do long. It's got the same shit, isn't it? Really? Absolutely fucking brutal. It's just not clean. Not clean. Yeah. Similar. Why have I got a fib tool? I'm not retarded. Jokes? I am. Same kind of crap, isn't it? Again, I'd want to see strength. It's not really a lot for me to take in terms of divergences or anything like that. It's just janky. Nope. Nada. I wouldn't be longing it here. There's no form of strength or divergence is forming. Reasonable move the rest of the market, but you know, I'd even use this like meme diagonal as some form of invalidation. And you know, if it's rejecting off it, then I probably wouldn't be comfy sat along, personally. Can I please chart next? Ah, is this going to be liquid? Oh. Bruh. Oh, Jesus. Right, where do I start with this? Well, Magus has got a pattern that he likes called the big booty, which is something like this. So you can kind of hope for the big booty play out, but you know, it's the kind of standard thing that I talk about, which is, you know, this could be a reasonable sign of a bottoming structure, right? You know, you've had a really ridiculous sell-off. Let's ignore the fact that it's reasonably illiquid, right? You're down 86% from the highs. It's kind of gone off the boil in terms of any form of strength. But you know, for me personally, I'd literally just want to see what we're on at the moment, a daily. I want to see it just break out of this range down here, because otherwise it'll just end up doing this and maybe just dive even more. You know, I would rather long that than I would take any form of position here. You know, how likely is this in these conditions? I don't know what the fuck it does, but yeah, I would not be particularly bullish on this unless you have a fundamental reason to be. Could be a long shot. Yeah, no, I completely get it. It's completely up to you. If you need to win it all back in one trade, who would your best meet? Who would be your man to do it? SBF, 100%. Next, I might be affiliated with ADA. Oh, definitely Zero. Tuned in very late. What are my thoughts about BTC or ETH? They're not particularly interesting, really. ETH is a bit... I haven't even talked about ETH, to be honest. I don't... ETH has just been fucking boring. Why would you trade ETH? Why would you trade ETH in this little like range here? It's just, to me, I just don't get it. When you had sort of better proxies, the last ETH rotation was LDO for me. So I was long LDO quite aggressively down here, I think it was, or maybe it was here, into this move, which is like 30-something%. Yeah, that was the kind of beta play for me. Yeah, probably going to be DeFi this time, I guess, but yeah, I just have got no interest in interacting with ETH. Like, doing this, you know, you could look to short this, I reckon. Actually, maybe not, because the close is pretty strong. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not the lows. You know, sweep these highs and do something like that, and maybe get on board there. But yeah, I've got no real directional play on ETH. I think it just... Yeah, I've got nothing really. Why play ETH when I can just long old BTC? Like, I don't get much better returns. I get the liquidity argument, but yeah, there we go. Lovely. There's the strength. Look at that. Perfect. I think ARB might be playing. Feel it. Yeah, I mean, that's why I've, you know, taken a position on Mask. It's because I literally feel it in my loins. I was going to say I haven't looked at ARB for a while. And that's probably why. Is that whenever I load the chart up, all I see is these two big lines. And I'm not really interested in diddling in the middle. And similarly, it's downtrend. You just stick something like that on and be like, well, until it's reclaimed either an important level or a decent high time frame trend or relative strength, I've got no interest in playing it. I've got no interest in trying to front run any form of there's no kind of momentum divergences or anything like that. At least on stuff like this, you've got, if this moved down, you've got that. Actually, RSI looks a bit cleaner. You've got a downtrending market with uptrending momentum, which is a divergence, and yeah, it looks even cleaner on 2-day. Not so much on 3-day. But yeah, I wouldn't want to long ape, but there's a much cleaner reason to long ape than there is Aptos for me, and where it is. The creator of Ghost Stack Protocol, who's been cited in the white paper of ETH created a coin, Casper, would you hold it long term? Subtly dropping in for the love of Moses. Kids. I suppose I've mentally got from my experience in the markets criteria of things that I think would be beneficial to shill your mate into buying a coin, and having the creator of Ghost Tag Protocol, who's been cited in the white paper of ETH creating a coin, is pretty low on that list in terms of impact, the long-term potential return of a coin. But that said, I've not delved deeply into Casper, so take what I say with a pinch of salt. But if you said, do you want to buy this coin because of the reason you just stated, the answer would be no. So, just, crushing your dreams, sending you out in flames. You tell me what to look for? There's a long list, my friend. Isn't it very, very old coin? Yeah, probably. So yeah, on that bombshell, I'm going to love you and leave you. It's 8:30, and you're going to hear a knock on the basement door in a minute, and that'll be it. That'll be game over. Oh, there we go. Gotta go to bed. Casper Created 2022. Brand new. Lovely. Well, yeah, I wish you all the best. If you've liked this wonderful content, then do the stuff. The subscribing and liking and all that kind of wonderful bits to get my dopamine levels going. And yeah, I wish you all the best in terms of trading the next few days. I think there's going to be reasonable vol. I think it's probably stick to things like CRV, OP, basically anything that's in play. Use a Bitcoin screener. We talked about WLD. I think this might be the start of a decent breakout on that. You've kind of got all my plans now, so go crush it. Come back next week. Tell me how brilliantly you've all done, and get ready for Wall Street of Trading, or whatever it's called. World Series of Trading. That's it. You told me, right? And yeah, have a good evening. Au revoir. Oh, and thank you very much for the sub. I should say that, because otherwise that would be exceptionally rude. So I do appreciate it. It's very, very kind. And yeah, you get all your emojis and all that kind of wonderful stuff. So happy Christmas. And I will speak to you all on twitter.com.
He's BTC Charlie with his linguini charting. He loses sometimes, but hardly he's BTC Charlie. But now he's GBP Charlie. It doesn't matter what he's charting. His trading is tough, but it's not all that bad with Charlie. He's got memes in the morning and more in the evening. It's Charlie. And when trading gets hard and support starts